On August 5th, 1998, Halloween H20 was released and was the first horror movie I've ever seen in theaters. I was 6 years old at the time, and my older sister was the main reason why I started watching horror movies at such an early age. Prior to watching this, the only other Halloween film I ever saw was Halloween 4, which I owned on VHS and found myself watching it almost every other day, which also meant that I didn't understand many references in both films. I had no idea who the girl in the picture was that Jamie was looking at in the beginning. I didn't understand why the kids were making fun of her by saying she's an orphan and that her uncle was the boogeyman. I had no clue who the boy was when she got that vision when trying on the clown costume in the store, or the homage to the original film when Jamie killed her foster mother at the end. So going into Halloween H20, I was there to see Michael Myers kill some people. I didn't understand any of the backstory, connections, homages, or references. From what I can recollect, all that went through my 6-year-old mind in the theater was, oh shit, LL Cool J. His nose is huge. She got weird eyebrows. Oh hey, it's the guy from Batman and Robin.
Oh no.
Where's Rachel? Who the fuck is this? Where's Rachel? Stab, stab, stab. Oh my god, he got ran over in Halloween 4 too! Where's Rachel? Fast forward to the early 2000s, I was able to watch the first 5 films during AMC Fear Fest. So I was able to fill in the blanks in the following year. Saw Resurrections in theaters and watched Halloween 6 for the first time when I was in high school. Backstory aside, and with the new Halloween movie on the horizon, I have decided to revisit Halloween H20 20 years later. 20 years later. This is my first time watching this movie in its entirety in at least 12 years. I couldn't wait to watch this again, but I kept low expectations for fear of disappointment. And honestly, I was still entertained. By no means was this a perfect film, but I still deem it to be a very worthy sequel. It's an entirely different viewing experience when you actually understand all the references. And even though I knew exactly what would happen each step of the movie, it still managed to scare the hell out of me in most scenes. The opening sequence when you first see Michael is absolutely petrifying. Final showdown between Laurie and Michael in the school was also nerve-wracking. Seeing him twirl the knife in his hand, stalking Laurie on the hunt, walking with conviction put fear in my heart. Jamie Lee Curtis puts in an excellent performance, which was to be expected. Seeing her character evolve from this paranoid, overthinking, fragile, mentally scarred person to this bold, fearless fighter who looks to stop this threat by any means necessary encapsulates the fight-or-flight mentality. It was in this very moment where she solidified her spot on a Mount Rushmore of horror movie heroines. There were, however, a few issues I had. Most of which are nothing new. It's, well, pretty much the mask. Mainly because it shows his eyes way too much. Eyes are the windows to the soul, and the eye contact made me feel like he's relatable. I work in customer service, and I make sure to look my customers in the eyes. Well, I do that for everyone I speak to, so when I'm looking in his eyes, I get a common man vibe. I watched the first Halloween last week, and I found the shape to be more intimidating because I barely saw his eyes. All I saw was darkness, an endless abyss. I can't identify with something that I can't see. There is genuine fear in the unknown. That's what further added to the shape's mystique. So the H20 mask kills all of that. It really doesn't help that we see him quite a bit in the daytime as well. Yeah, you see him in the day for the first film, but there are no close-ups of him and his eyes. I get that Laurie has PTSD and is haunted by these visions, but the mask makes it more funny than anything. I feel like the scene where they come face to face through the window would have been much more frightening had his eyes been blacked out a little bit more. Like, which is scarier to come face to face with? This or this? The only time where full eye contact worked was the very end. That's when you remember, oh my god, that's right, he's just a guy. But how is a man capable of such senseless evil? The moment they shared at the end of H20, brother and sister, after 20 years of her suffering, uncertainty, anxiety, and his relentless pursuit and bloodlust. For the first time, Laurie's fearful emotions turned to sadness, then trepidation, and finally acceptance. She dug up Laurie's past and replaced her remains with Carrie Tate so she can finally close this chapter in Laurie's life that was left incomplete for 2 decades and put it all to rest. Till they fucked it up 4 years later.
Trick or treat. motherfucker.
What's up, Killer Countdown Klansmen? If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I truly appreciate it. In the comment section below, tell me which was the first horror movie you've ever seen, and if your opinion differs now than it was back then when you first saw the film. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe to join the Killer Countdown Clan. Just don't go burning any crosses now. Sure, you can. Whatever.